Good evening. Tonight's top story, the city is in chaos. We're getting reports of widespread rioting.
In shadows I roam through neon soft gleam.
This entire scene was made by AI. There was no actors and no cameras, just one reference image and VO3 did the rest. And let me show you how I actually did this. So first thing is we need to log into our Google Flow, and I'll put the link down here for you guys so you guys can just follow the link and just log in. Once you're logged in, what you'll see is something called a new project, and you just click on the new project, and then that's how you start to build out your scenes and prompts that you want to use. I've already created a project, so I'm going to click here and let this load up. Okay, let me just scroll straight down. Okay, so before we begin, if you want to use the same character in every scene, then you need to create a reference image. And why do we need to do that is because we could actually refer to those reference images when we're putting our prompt. So what the best thing to do is down here you have text to video. You select this and then you go frame to video. And then you click on this plus button. And what you could do is you could actually upload an image if you've got one, or you could actually over here generate an image as well. So what I actually use VO3 to generate this image. Okay, and then what you do is you just click on the upload button and then you upload this image into your library. Okay, and that's the image that I've used throughout my 4 different scenes. The other thing to note is when you're actually uploaded the image and you start using the prompt, if you want to use a reference image, it's important that you actually refer to it. By that, what I mean is click on the plus button, select the image so you can see the image here, and then you could actually start to write your prompt. Otherwise, if you don't do this, then it won't refer to the image that you've got, which is your reference. Okay, now let me show you guys my prompt. So if I click over here, and this is the prompt that I actually used to generate this video. And what I did was I actually utilized ChatGPT. So what I did with ChatGPT, I gave it my vision, the context, what I want the scene to be, how the character is going to be rendering on the screen, how I want the televisions in the background, and how I want the news anchor to be speaking in the background. So after refining that in ChatGPT, I was able to then basically go ahead with that prompt and put it over into VO3. And this is what I've created. So I will be putting this prompt in my descriptions of the video. So please do check it out. If you want to go ahead and use it, please do go ahead and use that as well. You could also change it around if you want. But one of the things which I wanted to sort of like specify here is that you see over here, I'm saying use joker.reference, right? Okay, this is the reference that I'm using for this image. So I'm not just relying on in terms of identical face paints or hairstyle and red suit and expressions, but I'm actually saying use the same character from this image over here, right? So you can see this character here now is exactly the same as this character here. So that's the good thing about VO3, that it allows you to be able to use a reference image. But there is a caveat. You could only use one image at a time. So for example, if I want to use an image of a character and I want to use an image of a background, it won't allow me to do that. VO3 does not support 2 images for now anyway. So what you need to do is only have one image at a time. The other thing to point out is that over here you've got VO3 quality. So when you're actually generating your video and you want to go ahead and play it to see how it works or how it's looking, then you've got 2 options, VO3 quality and VO3 fast. I can't click it now because I already generated this video, but what you can do is fast is for, let's say you're just having a look and see how does that video look, is it any good, then go ahead with doing fast. And the reason why that is because it's literally in the name, it's faster to render, which but the quality is not quite there as well. So there is a difference between quality. Whereas if you want to go ahead and have the qualities, particularly if you want to be downloading your videos for social media purposes or any other purposes, then go ahead with VO3 quality. Okay, so if I now play this video.
Good evening. Tonight's top story, the city in chaos. We're getting reports of widespread rioting.
So you can see the way the camera was zooming in onto his face, because that's what I've actually specified around here, which is the camera slowly pushing towards the central monitor, showing his face as faint, haunting, and also a female vocals high underneath the chatter. And that's the news anchor speaking. So I think that personally, I'm quite happy with this scene, the way it's actually created it. So I was quite impressed. Okay guys, now let's go ahead and look at the second scene. So let me just click on the prompt. So this is the prompt for this scene. There's only one thing I did change over here, which was the name of the reference. I've actually now renamed it to character rather than Joker. And the reason being is, I think because it had Joker, every time I was trying to render the video, I was getting generation failures. And I thought by changing the name, it actually worked. So I think it must have been something to do with copyright infringement. I'm not sure, but as soon as I changed the name of the reference image, it started working perfectly fine. So something to look out for as well, guys. So over here again, what I'm saying here is that I've actually literally have specified here that he is sitting in the back. And the reason why I'm specified it specifically over here is because, again, when I was actually experimenting with this scene, one of the things which I found was that the AI was actually putting him in the front of the seat of the front of the police car rather than the back. So I had to specify that he's actually sitting in the back. So again, let me go ahead and play this video and see how it works. So again, it's quite realistic the way it's done it. It's blurred the background, which is exactly what I wanted. It's also, you can hear the sirens of the police car as it's driving, which is great, which is what I also wanted. So again, I think that it's done a pretty good job in terms of how it's rendered this video. So I'm quite happy with this scene. Okay, let's now go ahead and look at the third scene. So let me just click on the prompt and show you guys. This is the prompt that I actually used over here. Again, you can see I'm using the same reference over here. Let's play the video and see how it actually renders. Okay, everything was perfect apart from one thing. Over here you can see I specified that the police car continues driving through the city at night. That didn't quite happen. The car was actually standstill, but that's fine. What I really wanted to do was ensure that as the camera moves into this character's face, that he actually turns his face towards the camera and gives a smirk, because he's actually smiling about all the riots that are happening in the city due to him, right? So he's obviously quite happy with that. So that's what I really wanted to focus on. So I think that in terms of what he's done, VO3's done a great job in how he's rendered this video and also captured the motion from how the camera actually zooms in to his face. Okay, let's now look at the last scene, which is the fourth one. So let's open up the prompt. So this is the prompt I'm using. Again, you can see my reference I'm using over here, which is exactly what I wanted. And basically here, what I'm saying is that there's going to be a crash and an explosion, and I want it to be quite dramatic, right? So let's quickly look at how it works. Now, a number of things here. As you can see, the car, well, not the car. What I wanted is, I wanted a lorry to smash into the car, and as you can see, the explosion that's actually happened, which is great, which is exactly what I wanted to create that dramatic kind of look. But what I wanted was a lorry, not another police car, which is what you can see over here in the image. Okay, and I wanted the vehicle to actually spin over, which it actually didn't as well. but that's fine. But in terms of creating that dramatic look, it's achieved that, so I'm quite happy with that. And the other thing that you may have noticed is that he's actually lost his tie. So in the other scenes you can see that he's actually wearing a red tie, but in this scene, as he gets out the vehicle, you can see that he's actually not wearing a tie at all. So if I just move over here, as you can see, he's not wearing a tie. So these are some of the drawbacks that we do get. I could have gone back and re-entered the prompt and specified that make sure he's wearing a red tie, but I wanted to try and make this video as organic as possible so that you guys could also see some of the challenges that were happening when you're using Veo 3 with the even though the prompts may be really clear, but there are going to be times where it's not really going to do what you want it to do, so you just have to keep refining it. And also bearing in mind, if you like one particular scene but then you want to refine that scene because, for example, I like this scene but I want him to wear a tie, so therefore I refine this prompt, I rerun it, then the scene will always not be the same. It's going to be different, right? So that's another thing to look out for, that it won't always replicate the scene in the way the previous scene was. It will actually change that scene. So that's something to look out for as well. So one more thing I wanted to show you guys before we close this video. If you see over here scene builder, so if what you do is when you click on or hover over any of the videos, you'll see something called add to scene. So if I go remove from scene, for example, then I can see add to scene. If I click on add to scene, it actually switches it to scene builder, and you can see that over here. So at the top here where you've got scene builder, if you click on here, and let's just give it a second to load, and there you go. And then basically what this is, that this is where your scenes are going to be displayed, right? So this is how you can actually now move your scenes around. So if you click on this button over here and you arrange, you can see I could actually move these things around quite easily. So this is a good place to go, particularly when you're building multiple scenes. Put them into your scene builder, generate them together, and you could actually then also play to see how it actually looks. So let me just play this from the beginning.
Good evening. Tonight's top story, the city is in chaos. We're getting reports of widespread rioting.
In shadows I roam through neon soft gleam.
So this is where you can actually now see how all of your scenes come together, whereas on the previous page you just play one scene at a time. And then what you could also do is, if you're happy with this, you could also just download it from here as well, and this will actually download all your scenes in one go rather than separately. So again, you could download it from here, or you could actually download it from where you're actually entering your prompts, which is from this button here. Well, I hope you liked this video and found it engaging, and please do consider subscribing and do like and share this video. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.